Welcome to the Revere Art Community on the Rack podcast, a bi-monthly series brought to you by the Revere Art Community at Las Parentas and Chocolate Cafe, where we sit and talk with artists from the Revere community about how they do what they do and sometimes why they do it, with a little bit of focus on making sure that they're able to market and make a little bit of income. So, welcome to On the Rack. We welcome artists of all backgrounds, ages, abilities, and experience levels. Every story matters. Every voice deserves to be heard. We create a safe, respectful space for authentic, artistic expression. We honor the rich tapestry of culture that we call Revere, our home, and we recognize that art is a powerful bridge between communities. Again, welcome to On the Rack. Well, hello. Good evening, everybody. This is episode number 4. We're getting there, Diane, aren't we? Yeah, absolutely. I am Brian Harkins with the Revere Art Community, and you are watching On the Rack, the Revere Art Community's podcast, where we talk to artists, creators, makers, sellers, buyers, individuals that take and incorporate what they love and what they do into the community and work towards the betterment of all through the arts. Today I have a very special guest. She's like my beach buddy. I love the beach. I am retired, so I get to visit it. And I get to do one of my hobbies, find the beach boys down on the beach, take pictures of them. But Regina has a very special thing. You get off at the Marquee Bridge, the Wonderland Tea Stop. You walk across that bridge. You're going to take and see the uprights, the pavilions, the clock, with a lot of people taking pictures in front of it. But there's this great big box, the container, that is pastel colored. And it's
supposed to be fluorescent.
Oh, fluorescent. Well, the sun is bright. And I do wear dark changing sunglasses, but I will correct that. Make sure we wipe that out. Fluorescent container down on Revere Beach, and it is called Revere Beach 02151. Retail.
Revere Beach Retail.
All right. So I want to introduce Regina. Say hello and talk a little bit about yourself. That's it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Regina Olivieri. I am a Revere resident, and I am the owner and founder of Revere Beach Retail, which Brian did a wonderful introduction on.
So tell us a little bit about how you said you're the founder and the owner, how Revere Beach Retail all came about.
So it actually goes back to, I grew up in the area.
Where about?
I actually grew up in East Boston. I did live in Revere for a little while.
Eastie.
And I went to school in Revere for 3 years. But I would always go to Revere Beach as a kid. My mom would bring me down. We would go to the beach. We would actually sit outside of the state police barracks growing up. Well, I would walk the beach a lot. And I never understood why whenever I would travel somewhere, I could go and get a t-shirt that said wherever, Fort Lauderdale Beach, Miami. And we have America's first public beach, and you couldn't get a t-shirt. So the idea sort of started when I was a teenager. I used to say, I would walk with my best friend and be like, I can't believe you can't get a t-shirt.
So this just a few years ago then?
But then a few years ago, as the Boulevard and Ocean Ave and the whole beach really took off and started developing, I said, listen, I have to really explore this so I went and I actually looked at a few of the new buildings to see if there was any commercial space to rent, knowing that it's really just a seasonal business.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the new buildings had any commercial space available to rent. I went to the hotel, they didn't have anything, and then started to think outside of the box. How could I make this happen? And I can't take all the credit. I did have a few people that influenced my decision to, actually go with a container.
Give some credit.
So Nefo Capuccio, who actually, he helped me with the idea. Look at what they do down at the seaport. Look at what they do at all these other areas. Why don't you go with that approach? And so that's sort of, seeing what other areas of Boston has done. They had, it's pretty popular, I think, in the city of Boston, having different containers set up in different areas to create a little bit of like a destination.
Oh, it's used all over. You
Mm-hmm.
go to the hospitals going out Mass Ave and you'll see them. Cambridge does, Somerville does it. It's a good thing. How did you get it down at the end of the Marquee Bridge?
Brian, that was the most difficult part. That was honestly the most challenging part.
What were the challenges to you?
So for those of you who don't know, where the container is placed is actually on state property, not city property. So, the city of Revere didn't really have much say in, what was going to happen there. So I went to DCR, and initially DCR said, we don't allow anything to stay on our property overnight. So I would have been able to drive something on and off initially was their first reaction to my proposal. And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to have something that is set up and established around the clock.
Yep.
And so it took over a year to actually get DCR on board with the idea and with the proposal. So that really, and then LL Bean came in, and they also have their container.
Mm-hmm.
And I think between, LL Bean's desire to be on the beach, and then also I had already had the proposal into DCR. It was challenging, but once everyone kind of got in their head like this new concept, it's been wonderful.
Well, anything with the state is going to be challenging because there's regulations, there's rules, there's attorneys, there's people that oversee it, and they may not have the vision that you have or the closeness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you persevered.
I did.
That's awesome.
I kept knocking on their door. I kept, at it. I definitely didn't give up. And I just believed that, and I still believe that the beach needs activation. And
with that note, the city is working towards that project from where all the way down at the Shirley Ave end of the beach, all the way up to the Wonderland section. There's going to be activation going right across over to the Wonderland Mall behind the MBTA Wonderland stop, and, even touching part of the new high school. But that's happening right now, and they're working towards that. And you, my dear, my friend, or pioneer that made them see that vision could work.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Truly, I have a lot of respect for you.
I appreciate that.
I know what you went through. I have dealt with the state. I understand that. It's a lot of I's and dots and T's, and things come back and wait a minute, this is how we do it in this department. But you persevered. So now you jump, you're there. You got your box, you're setting it up. What do you fill it with?
What do you fill it with? I mean, so my vision was, I don't want to call it a souvenir shop, right? Because sometimes my vision was I wanted people to have, let's call it a souvenir shop. I wanted people to have something to take back. So not only, and I know that Revere Beach is very special and has a lot of memories for people in the past, right? Every time I'm there, every day I'm open, there's someone that will come down and say, oh, my mom used to come to Revere Beach. My grandparents have stories. I think historically, like the history that's behind the beach meant something to people.
Oh, it always has, yes.
And it still does, right? And so I wanted people to come and be able to take away something with them and represent
their memories,
where they went.
Their memories?
Yes, their memories. And so to answer your question specifically, t-shirts. I wanted t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats. I know this isn't the best sweatshirt I have worn tonight for the podcast. You can't really see.
It is when you go outside tonight.
This is the new sand color crew neck that I'm carrying. This comes in red and green. I have a variety of colors when the store's open. But so I have hats, ornaments, mugs, magnets. I don't have keychains, but so I have something that people can come down to the beach, or if they're staying at the hotel, believe me, there are a lot of tourists that even come to the community that that they can leave with a memory, with something to remind them of when they were at Revere Beach.
And Regina has reached out and worked with other artists in the Revere community. Let's talk about your good buddy. Well, that we'll talk about me later. No.
Who are you
The
referring to?
painter of signs,
Oh, the painter.
who was one of the first two people on the first podcast.
Was he?
No, she.
Oh, Denise.
Yes.
I
Oh,
thought-
come on.
When you said painter, I thought you meant who painted the container.
That was a teacher from.
The teacher is Wayne Godbout painted the exterior of the container, and he actually designed the exterior with me. But Denise Boucher,
Yes.
she is a dear friend of mine and Brian's, and I actually carried some of her artwork this
Right.
year in the store.
Denise does the collages. It'll say Revere, Revere Beach, Suffolk Downs, Ipswich, Danvers, whatever.
Yeah.
She does it specifically with a lot of images of that community or that space in it. And I had some of my photography, mostly beach type stuff, that was down there also. So there is the opportunity, if it's viable, to work. And I'm going to be honest, the stuff I had was a little too pricey, and it wasn't the easiest thing to carry away.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I feel like your artwork people were interested in, your photographs rather, people were interested in, but didn't want to. I don't know if it was the size, maybe, and the price, but we weren't really successful with moving.
I know at
Your-
$500 a piece, and only this big, they weren't buying. But that's all right, because there's other opportunities to sell other things,
Yes,
and we've talked about that. And it's actually better than I thought
I
my
like that
houses
guy.
and stuff like
I
that.
like that
And
guy.
I've got the other guy that's the mayor of the beach in color. But there's opportunities out there for you, and people like Regina are providing that and taking in, conquering the challenges of what is required for an individual to take and have a retail type business in an environment that was never there before.
Yeah,
So what do you see for the future for next year?
I mean, the plan is I'm going back.
This will be what, your third year?
So this would be my third year. So season one, I feel like I heavily focused on the zip code. And a lot of people like yourself recognize me as like 02151 girl, right? This year I introduced different designs, more product. I knew what I was doing more. I don't come from a retail background. I mean, I come from a very different industry.
What was that?
So I work in the construction business.
Really?
So very different, and that's like what my career has been out of school and for the last 20 years. But this was something that I like to call this a passion project. And so this year I added new designs. I think the first season was really figuring out what people liked and what they didn't like, what moved, what didn't move, what types of shirts, price range, right? Like something for me that was really important too is, you go to Hampton Beach and you see the $5 t-shirt, the $10 t-shirt. The quality is not.
It's a $5
t-shirt. It's a $5 t-shirt. And so I've been mindful of keeping the prices in like a low, the best price point possible, but with also maintaining like good quality. I don't want people to come to the store, buy a shirt that's going to be gone and ruined after like 1 or 2 washes. That to me is just, that's not who I am. That's not what I like. And that's not what I want to put out to the community.
No, your product is nice.
Thank you.
It really is. The quality, the feel of it, and the variety of it. And it's great that it's there and the opportunity for you to be able to do that. What has the state felt about the project?
I've had wonderful feedback from everyone. And like I said, once they could get the concept approved, everyone from the state has been fantastic to work with, from people in the office, people in the field, maintaining the cleanliness this year, especially. I feel like we had no issues with like site cleanliness. Everything was, right on point.
You can't beat it. What you call is right there to clean up anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do go up and down that beach and clean it well. But that's a great thing. So hopefully it's going to expand. I know that this year there was a person that did flavored ices.
Yes. I don't
Right.
know if he'll be back next year.
Well, it's once again, how much do you make for the time and effort that you put in? But you found that to be equitable for you.
I mean, it's a seasonal thing here, right?
Yes.
So we don't live in a climate where you can be out there,
No, you got about
every
4 weeks, and
I know, it's so sad. So I dropped the container in May, and I was open for weekends in May, and then June started to pick up a little bit more, the weather, the temperatures, and really from the middle of June, I would say through the end of August. Labor Day was a little slow this year, but that was like the season. So it's very quick.
yes,
I was fortunate enough to be able to keep the container out there through the end of October. And then I scaled back to weekends again, when there's the majority of the foot traffic. But unfortunately, we don't live in a climate that you can be out there. So
it isn't conducive.
there are opportunities to make money, but there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it.
And you've got a good buddy that helps you too, don't you?
And who's that?
Well, that would be your mom.
My mother. My mom. Mom is
Say hello.
Hi, Mom.
Say her name.
Patty Champa. She loves walking the beach, I think,
Yep.
more than anyone.
Patty
And
does look like she walks the beach.
She walks the beach, and she not only covers my bathroom breaks on those walks, but she has definitely worked the store. And let me tell you, her labor is very cheap.
Did you hear that, Patty? Not at all. I've seen her there almost 80% of the time I go
she's
by.
there all the time.
Yeah,
Mom comes down.
It takes and works out. So what's the new plans for 02151 retail?
I mean, I want to keep it going. I said the first year I'm not going to be one and done. Now after year 2, knowing everything that I know after year 2, I'm very excited for season 3.
Great. Do you have a website?
I do. I have a website reverebeachretail.com.
What is that again?
reverebeachretail.com.
Uh-huh.
And I actually deliver for free to Revere residents. So when you go on to place an order, it will ask you your zip code. And if it's Revere, actually, it's Revere, East Boston, and Winthrop that I deliver for free.
Well, so they share it.
Yes. And so depending on, I don't think a lot of people know that. So you don't have to pay the delivery or shipping charges if you live in those 3 zip codes. And I've done a few events over the last weekend. So you can also find me at some local events. But I have a website and I have Instagram, and I'm trying to build my Facebook.
What's your Instagram page called?
Revere_beach_retail. So if you don't
Instagram?
follow me, give me a follow.
Do you have any Facebook?
I do. Same thing, Revere Beach Retail. So that's really the RBR, Revere Beach Retail.
RBR. I love it. And this Friday, the 12th, from 5 o'clock till about 6:30 or so at Sandler Square, you're going to be here, right?
I will. I'll have with me this crew neck. I will also have the red and green. I call it Candy Cane and the Grinch for Christmas or holiday season. But they also go with Celtics and other things. It looks like a lifeguard sweatshirt also.
So anything you'd like to say to the audience of the Revere world?
Oh, Brian, what could I have a lot to say, but I want to thank the community. I really, truly do. I think that everyone in Revere has been very supportive of this concept from, all of the locals. I have a lot of regulars that come by, yourself included. It takes a lot to take a jump and a leap, and to have the backing from like the local community. I feel like everyone's been really excited about the new concept. And I think if you're somebody that's out there trying to, think of like ways to do something different, give it a shot.
So what you're telling us, and if I make sure I understand it, is the possibilities are there.
The possibilities are there.
The probability of getting it done is going to be a little bit of work. You're going to need persistence, but if you push through and keep fighting for what you believe, you can be successful like Regina has been.
You can. And you just hard work. That's it.
That's usually
Dedication. You have to you have to go into it open-minded, and you're going to run into hurdles and you're going to run into situations. You're going to have to jump through hoops and overcome things, but you have to be persistent, and you have to believe in yourself and just go for it.
I'm sitting in a room with there's a couple of people that know that. Get over here, you. Come on. Come here.
He's calling you in, Diana.
Come on, Brian.
This is another individual that is persistent. It does work.
Thank you very much.
It is not easy to do retail. And as artists, it's even more of a challenge because we have to do the creation and have the foresight to be able to take in, do something you believe in, but also have it so that you can, in some situations, be able to sell something that works, but it might not fit for everything. So you don't stop in what you're believing in. You push forward and you find individuals that work and have commonality with what you're looking for to take and better yourself, better the community, and make Revere a great place. I want to thank y'all for watching us tonight. Special thanks to Regina.
Thank you for having me, Brian, and thank you for being a friend.
You're more than
to me.
welcome. And of course, we can't do this without this gal right here. And you don't know how much I appreciate that. Now get this video done. I want to take and push it out.
Okay, boss.
Oh, one thing. I want to thank everyone for watching On the Rack with the Revere Art Community. Brian Harkins, Regina Oliveri, and Diana Cardona. We thank you all. And as we say during the holidays, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, whatever you practice, whatever you believe, enjoy the holidays and love the people you're with. Arts, part of it can always be part of you. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Revere Art Community on the Rack podcast, a bi-monthly series brought to you by the Revere Art Community at Las Parentas and Chocolate Cafe, where we sit and talk with artists from the Revere community about how they do what they do and sometimes why they do it, with a little bit of focus on making sure that they're able to market and make a little bit of income. So welcome to On the Rack. We welcome artists of all backgrounds, ages, abilities, and experience levels. Every story matters. Every voice deserves to be heard. We create a safe, respectful space for authentic, artistic expression. We honor the rich tapestry of culture that we call Revere, our home, and we recognize that art is a powerful bridge between communities. Again, welcome to On the Rack.